What is serfdom? Have you ever wondered how people lived and worked in medieval Europe? Today, we are going to explore serfdom, a key part of the feudal economic model. Serfdom was a system where peasants, known as serfs, were tied to the land they worked on. This connection was not just about farming. It was a legal and social, but that defined their lives. Serfs were bound to a specific plot of land and could not leave without their lord's permission. This restriction meant that they had very limited freedom compared to other peasants who could move between different manors. Imagine being unable to choose where to live or work. That was the reality for serfs. In addition to being tied to the land, serfs had labor obligations. They were required to work on their lord's land, known as domain land, in addition to tending to their own small plots. This work was often extensive and included farming, maintaining roads, and even working in mines. The labor they provided was a form of rent for the protection and land use they received. Economically, serfs were dependent on their lords. They had to use the lord's facilities, like grain mills, and pay a portion of their crops as rent. This created a system where the lord controlled both the labor and resources, reinforcing the hierarchy of feudal society. Socially, serfs were at the bottom of the feudal hierarchy. They had limited personal liberties, such as the freedom to marry or change jobs without their lord's consent. This lack of freedom highlighted the stark differences between serfs and free laborers. When we compare serfdom to socialism, we see a clear contrast. Serfdom can be viewed as a form of exploitation, where the labor of serfs was controlled by the landowning class. Socialism, on the other hand, aims to reduce economic inequality and promote collective ownership of resources. In the context of capitalism, serfdom represents a per-capitalist system. Labor was tied to land rather than being a commodity that could be freely traded. Socialism seeks to address the issues of economic inequality and exploitation that were prevalent in systems like serfdom. Understanding serfdom helps us see how economic systems have evolved over time. It illustrates the historical roots of labor relations and social structures that continue to influence our world today. By examining these systems, we can better appreciate the ongoing discussions about economic equality and the distribution of power in society.